I feel like it's an important experience. Everyone ride the school bus at least once in their life, and like not on a field trip, but actually on the way to school. Because I remember back in the elementary school days, at least where I lived, you wouldn't ride the bus to school. It would only be on field trips and like special occasions. There was no seatbelts, and you'd just be with your friends. It was pretty fun. Normally, when there was no field trip, everyone's mom would drive them to school. Especially in my situation, I never lived that close to my school. I was always pretty far away. I did bike for a period of time, but especially in high school, that was a 5 mile bike ride one way, and I was kind of over that. And it wasn't just me who lived far away. There was like a cluster of kids who had their moms drive them to school. And so there's a waiting list to get on the one bus that hit up all of our houses. And it's about midway through sophomore year when I finally get on this magical bus, and boy was I in for a ride. There was a bunch of stops on the way to school, and mine was second, which means I had to get up really early in the morning. After waiting in that brisk morning air with the other people at my stop, you got to choose your seat since there weren't that many people on the bus. And the only other people that were there was this one girl who'd sit in the very front, even when the whole bus was open, and this one kid that would just kind of lay down and watch basketball highlights. And he used to be the fastest guy in fifth grade, which meant he was the most popular, but now he was just still stuck in the past. Now, there were no assigned seats, but everyone pretty much sat in the same spot every day, and the bus was split into basically the front, the middle, and the back. The front is where I would call like the lone wolves. No one who really had a group. Like they'd talk occasionally. And that's about it. They sat right in front of the middle, which was mostly freshmen, a few sophomores, but they had like their own little group. They'd always be talking. And then the back was where most of the action happened. I would sit right there. I would describe the back as nothing short of a war zone. There was constantly things being thrown or some crazy thing happening. Everything would always happen on the way back from school. I remember this one time, there were these two guys who was always throwing things. Their weapon of choice was carrots, and they started hitting the sub bus driver. For obvious reasons, the bus driver got really mad and pulled the entire bus over on the side of the road, which ended up taking up half a lane. So we got a pretty good amount of car honks while he gave a whole speech trying to investigate who did it. And to this, the bus told him that Joe Mama was the culprit. The guys eventually did get kicked off the bus, but at least we had a good laugh. Another time, these two siblings got in a fight. These two siblings who sat right next to each other would always argue, and one day it got particularly bad to the point where they just started wrestling on the chair of the bus. And it got so bad that a few of us actually had to break them up because this one guy was actually getting hurt. My last and weirdest day on the bus was the day that our school went online because of COVID-19. And our school live streamed this school council meeting where they made this decision. And so all of us on the bus were watching it and oohing and awing and like cheering it on and whatnot. And sadly, after that day, I never saw any of my bus people again. Hey, for the few people that actually watched the last video, you guys seem to enjoy it. So I might make another one of these soon. So please like, subscribe, and tell me what you thought, even if you thought it sucked. Peace.